All rise. Please be seated. All right. Good evening, everybody. We are in the 14th day of case number ZG416525518 in the child abuse and neglect trial, State of Florida versus Sonia Heitman Clementine. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of December 2023. Tonight, we have 4 witnesses who are willing to testify. Ms. Vinitha Vijakumar, Mr. Toby Gallagher, Genie 6348, and Adjournment Credit Maker 2006, are planning to testify against the defendant. We will begin with Ms. Vijakumar. May you please come to the podium? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Can you please state your name?
Vinitha Vijakumar.
Okay. Please be seated. Vinitha, can you please state your date of birth and how old you currently are?
My birthday is on April 12, 1991, and I am currently 32 years old.
Okay. Can you please explain what you have thought about the defendant since she started abusing these 24 students?
Well, I haven't really been an employee with Mrs. Clementine for a while, but I will explain. She has been nothing but rude to these students for the last few months. She would force them to take cold showers, force them to drink spicy milkshakes, and won't let them use the bathroom. And when she punched and spanked the students for peeing and pooping on the floor, some of them had to go to the hospital for her actions. Why on earth does a woman like Mrs. Clementine have to be so rude to children? It's beyond disgusting. I want her to be held accountable for what she did to these victims, and I want to make sure each and every one of her victims get justice, because it is clear that she is a child abuser and doesn't care about human life and wants them to die.
Just a quick question before you go back. What punishment would you like to have the defendant receive? Would you like to see her receive the death penalty or receive life in prison?
Based on her carelessness and disregard for children, it is 100% clear that she needs to be put to death, because she will obviously abuse these students again if she spends the rest of her life in jail. Thanks.
Thank you, Vinitha. We will now hear from our second witness, Mr. Toby Gallagher, who plans to testify against the defendant. May you please come to the podium? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Can you please state your name?
Toby John Gallagher.
Okay. Please be seated. Toby, can you please state your date of birth and how old you currently are?
My birthday is on September 9, 1989, and I am currently 34 years old.
Okay. Can you please explain what you have thought about the defendant since she started abusing these 24 students?
Well, back in March of this year, I witnessed Dora Marquez washing her hands in the water fountain, and when I didn't know what to do, Mrs. Clementine eventually told me to spank a student if they do that. That's what I did. Then she fired me for doing all that. She claims that we should not put our hands on other students, yet she does the same thing. However, I accepted full responsibility for what I did and regret what I did to her. I know what I did was wrong. This was all Mrs. Clementine's fault because she was the one who wanted me to spank Dora. I told her it may not have been a good idea, but she didn't care. It's absolutely disgusting, and I am very thankful Igor Bettenhauser has taken over for her and that he is much nicer than she is.
Just a quick question before you go back. What punishment would you like to have the defendant receive? Would you like to see her receive the death penalty or receive life in prison?
It's clear that she deserves to be put to death for her actions because what she told me to do is wrong. I don't like being around a child abusing strict principal like her, and I want her to be put to death. Thank you for having me.
Mr. Gallagher, thank you for speaking. We will now hear from our third witness, Genie 6348, who plans to testify against the defendant. May you please come to the podium? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Can you please state your name?
Genie 6348.
Okay. Please be seated. Genie 6348, can you please state your date of birth and how old you currently are?
My birthday is on March 23, 2011, and I am currently 12 years old.
Okay. Can you please explain what you have thought about the defendant since she started abusing these 24 students?
You know I have a lot to say about Mrs. Clementine. She is an absolute hypocrite and one of the worst pieces of crap ever to step foot into a school. She has way too many abusive punishments and refuses to let them use the bathroom. Everyone needs to use the bathroom, and she can't hold them hostage and stay in school. They need to go home to be able to do their homework and eat dinner with their families. Why on earth does someone like this idiot have to be so goddamn cruel to children? Why did she have to do this? She should not be abusing children and she should be punished for what she did. I don't think she likes children and it is absolutely ridiculous. Mrs. Clementine should also be put to death because she has been the world's strictest principal and she has been way too abusive towards kids. Please do this to make sure she doesn't see any children ever again. That is all.
Genie 6348, thank you for your time. We will now hear from our final witness of the day, Adam-themed credit maker 2006, who plans to testify against the defendant. May you please come to the podium? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Can you please state your name?
Adam the End Credits Maker 2006.
Okay. Please be seated. Adam, can you please state your date of birth and how old you currently are?
My birthday is on January 25, 2006, and I am currently 17 years old.
Okay. Can you please explain what you have thought about the defendant since she started abusing these 24 students?
Mrs. Clementine is one of the most rude pieces of garbage I have ever seen in my entire life. She is way too abusive towards children for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Forcing them to take cold showers, forcing them to drink spicy milkshakes, not letting them use the bathroom, and then punching and spanking them if they pee and poop on the floor. Why on earth does she need to do this crap to students? It is clearly disrespectful of her to do these horrible things to these poor children. They clearly did nothing wrong. It's all her fault and I want her to be punished for her abusive crimes she's committed. And don't even bother asking, because I definitely want her to be killed for what she has done. Do not spare her life. Please give her the death penalty. That is all.
Adam, thanks for testifying. All right. We've concluded the 14th day of the trial. We will resume tomorrow, when Carlen, Joman Abraham, Savannah Maters, and Kieran Thompson will testify against the defendant. Prosecutors, please bring her back to jail. Court is now dismissed.